Good morning and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Cheryl Lemke. Severe weather stretches across a wide area of the United States this morning. The system produced tornadoes and heavy rain and hail overnight. And the system is now moving eastward and is bringing wet and possibly stormy weather to New York, Pittsburgh, and eventually Atlanta. For the latest on these storms, let's check in with Vivian Brown in the Forecast Center.
Well, good morning, Cheryl, and we do wake up to severe weather this morning. Now, the Storms Prediction Center has issued several severe weather watches, and they remain in effect this hour. Let's take a look at them graphically. A severe thunderstorm watch still in effect for parts of Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. This is called the Arklatex region, where the severe thunderstorm watch is in effect. And we have another severe thunderstorm watch over parts of Tennessee and Kentucky, along with a tornado watch remain in effect over the central parts of the volunteer state of Tennessee. You can see why our national radar shows a line of storms moving across Texas, another line right here over the Tennessee Valley, and then we have a cluster of storms that has developed across the panhandle of Florida moving into south central Georgia. We'll talk about this cluster in a moment, but for the areas where the severe thunderstorm watches are in effect, let's zoom in on them first of all. A closer look at the Texas radar out of San Antonio shows the embedded thunderstorm cells here in this whole line of very heavy rain moving between Waco and College Station. This whole line is moving east, but some of the individual cells are moving off to the northeast at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. We've had reports of large hailstones as well as very gusty winds, heavy downpours. Still severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for Bowie, Smith, and Gregg counties in eastern Texas. A very dangerous situation this morning, again with this whole line moving off toward the east at about 20 miles an hour, but some of the individual cells are moving northeast at about 30 to 40 miles an hour. Very, very dangerous. Heavy rain along Interstate 45 as you travel northward from Houston to Dallas. Even traveling along Interstate 35, you're on the back end, but still some heavier rain moving toward the Waco, Texas area this morning. A different vantage point near the Dallas-Fort Worth area shows that the storms have moved to your east, but still very ominous looking storms right here. Near Tyler, Texas, we've had reports again of large hailstones associated with these storms. Again, a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for this area, and another area where the severe thunderstorm watch is in effect and a tornado watch is right here over central Tennessee, and you can see the line of storms between Nashville and Knoxville. Traveling along Interstate 40 will be very, very treacherous for you with this narrow band of very heavy rain and hail and high winds, and lightning still a big problem too with some of these storms. Here the line is moving off toward the east at about 25 miles an hour, but we've had reports of some of the individual cells moving to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. Another look at the national picture shows our line of storms here, another line here, but you're getting a little break this morning over Arkansas and the western parts of Tennessee. But it is still very warm, very moist out ahead of this surface front, and with that in mind, you're still in a favored area for thunderstorm activity across the southeast. Now you can see our current temperature shows the warm air right out ahead of the surface front. Not only is it warm, but we have quite a bit of low-level moisture as the dew points are in the 50s. So we're still in the targeted area, Arkansas, western Tennessee, for a good potential for severe weather. Again, this entire area all day today. It includes Houston, New Orleans, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Atlanta, Charleston, well, should I say Columbia, South Carolina, Nashville. You're still in the targeted areas for severe weather, Cincinnati up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we will continue to watch this area throughout the day and, of course, keep you updated on the latest radars and all watches and warnings that are warranted from the Storms Prediction Center. If you're away from your television set but you want to follow these storms, you can always catch us online. Our website is www.weather.com. Now let's check on the weather situation elsewhere across the country and back to the studio.
Thanks, Viv. The recent beautiful conditions across most of the East Coast will be falling by the wayside as that storm system moves in. So let's check out the current conditions. But this morning it's not too bad for those of you coming in around Boston. Maybe you're commuting in from Chelsea, Revere, or Peabody. Looks pretty quiet, at least for the morning hours. We do have this big complex storm system that Vivian was mentioning, though. That will eventually be coming in from the east. And as it does, well, we'll eventually see the clouds thickening and lowering. And certainly, though, by later this afternoon and tonight, there will be a chance for some rain. We think those of you around New York City, and eventually some rains, too, eventually coming in around the Boston area. Right now, though, just a few passing showers skirting off towards the east. We've had some rains this morning around Ithaca and Binghamton, New York. There's been a little bit of light rain activity, too, for Pittsburgh, and more scattered showers flaring up and working eastward across the Susquehanna Valley. And again, as we were mentioning, some of that rain may eventually clip parts of the New York City metro area and eventually to Hartford and Boston. Temperatures this morning, not too bad, but if you are heading off to check out or to pick up a bus this morning or to wait by the train station, you'll certainly need the winter coats across most of northern New England, with temperatures still 30s and 40s at this time. Meanwhile, it's 51 for Philly, 51 too for Pittsburgh, and milder as we head southward across the Ohio Valley. And look at the balmy conditions too across the deep south, 60s and 70s. Currently 69 for Jackson, 73 for New Orleans, and pretty nice weather at least for most of central and southern Florida for spring breakers. A rather balmy start to your day as well. But in northern Florida, you're dodging some showers this morning. We have this little weakness in the atmosphere cutting across the Florida Panhandle. There have been some showers and thunder showers flaring up this morning. Some of that rain continues to pull northward and across Georgia. For Valdosta, Georgia, thunderstorms in progress. Meanwhile, showers and thunderstorms skirting across the Florida Panhandle. And still some big thunderstorms flaring up, too, across the Big Bend area. So mariners exercise caution. Right now, there are small craft advisories in effect from Tarpon Springs and then running northward over towards Apalachicola in Florida. Here's a weather map for later on today. More than our fair share of storms across the east. We watch that one disturbance in Florida riding northward, another disturbance coming in from the west. And so showers and thunderstorms converging across the southeast throughout the afternoon. More rains, too, sliding over towards Beckley and Bluefield, West Virginia, on into Pittsburgh and Philly. And here come the rains, too, around New York City and Boston for later on this afternoon. So if you're heading to New York City on a business trip, definitely grab the umbrellas. More showers, too, around Syracuse and Utica, and the thunderstorms flaring up for Pittsburgh a little bit later on today. To the south here, too, the umbrellas will come in handy. Showers and thunderstorms. A slow afternoon commute for Atlanta, and more wet weather, too, around Houston and Dallas, although gradually tapering off later this afternoon. Rains, kind of a widespread rain event from Minneapolis through Chicago on into Erie. Louisville, still a chance for more showers and storms. And the west, too, staying a little bit on the active side. Well, a lot of us this morning will need the windshield wipers. Stay tuned. We'll check out the latest road conditions across the country. That's all coming up next on Travel Wise.